Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Women in Bus and Coach Annual Summit for 2025. Driving Change, the focus for today. And it's going to be a day filled with inspirational speakers and panel sessions and lots of chances to meet people, shake hands and make new contacts. I'm thrilled to be back with you this year as your compere. Some of you may know me, I'm Emma Hignett. For nearly 20 years, I've been the voice on London's buses. I've added a few things to that along the way. I voiced for Go North East. I voice across Yorkshire, bits of Bristol, the Midlands. I do the Elizabeth line. And this last week, I voiced a tour of the Blackpool Illuminations, which I was quite chuffed with. Thank you. As I said, on the way today, we have a number of really inspirational, really interesting sessions for you. We've got 2 panel sessions, and we have women coming up to speak, and men, with varied experiences and backgrounds to share their insights and their advice, a chance for all of us to learn from other people's experiences. We have speakers from various genres of transport, we have people sharing insights into diversity, and we have people encouraging us to look to the future. We shall also, as the climax of the day, have our second Women in Bus and Coach Awards, but more about that later on. We are today in, you must agree, the most amazing spot. The views are absolutely incredible. I'm sure it's the same whatever the weather, but in the sunshine today, it is, what an opportunity, what views to sort of enjoy as the background for our day. Thank you to BT for giving us the opportunity to be here. And so to launch our Women in Bus and Coach Summit 2025, and to welcome us properly to this amazing spot, please would you welcome from BT's transport sector, Jane Walker.
Thank you very much and good morning. Welcome to BT's beautiful building in Birmingham. So I'm Jane Walker, I'm an account director in BT. I sit in our transport sector and I'm responsible for First Group and the Go Ahead Group. And they inspired me to be here today, but I'll tell you a bit more about that in a moment. I just want to run through a few health and safety stuff because we're very risk averse in BT. We need to make sure we're careful, don't we? So there's no fire test today. No fire alarms should go off. And if it does, they're actually very good and they'll give us some instructions. And they'll tell us to wait or they'll say, go, right? And if they say go, my dad would say, don't rush, but hurry up. That's what he'd say. So out here, you'll see there are 3 signs. There's one on the left, and one on the right, and there's one over here on the right. 3 signs where it's a green sign with a running person. You probably looked at them, but just have a look. It's a little bit like one of those aeroplanes, isn't it, where they say your seatbelt goes like that? So you'll see the running man sign. A BT staff will escort you down the stairs and we'll muster you outside. If anyone needs special assistance, you should have been spoken to already, but if you feel that you won't make the stairs, make yourself known to us early and we'll help you. We'll sort out an evacuation plan for you. And we'll give you some assistance. Toilets are out here to the right and to the left, so you'll find them. Any smoking or vaping is not allowed in this beautiful building. You've got to go out the main doors, turn right, and then make your way back to the 17th floor. You don't need to be escorted back. Feel free to make your way back and to go as much as you need to go. We are brilliant in BT, so we have a first aid room available. We have a mother and child room available as well in the building. And we also have a multi-faith room as well for anyone that needs any of those. Let yourself known to us and we will escort you to the other floor in the building where we've got those facilities. So I'm Jane Walker then. I'm this account director in BT. I'm here with Scott Towns, who's also my account manager for First Group and Go Ahead Group. And I've also got Tom. And Tom came into the team as a graduate and we whipped him into shape. We sorted him out. We were brilliant with you. And he's just landed his first job in BT. So congratulations, Tom, and welcome. Now, I would like to say he wouldn't have got that if he hadn't been with us. I would say that. We sorted that out for him. So the background then. For those that know a lady called Denise Harrison, she was the head of safety for First Bus. She's one of my customers, got on really well with her. She told me all about Women in Bus and Coach. But by that time, I was already starting to get a bit interested in the female agenda for our customers. And to be fair, Go Ahead and First Group, they inspired me to want to know more. And that's when I approached Dee. She mentioned that there was a summit happening in Manchester last year, and I think I was probably the only technology provider that's ever been to one of these, and I felt a bit odd, sat there a bit quiet, tried to hide my BT badge, but I was very interested and I quickly became an ally and got introduced to Louise, and on my way home I said to myself, I want to help this agenda. My customers and what Louise and the team are doing here has certainly inspired us, and because we're a bit convincing, Scott and I and Tom now, we've managed to talk into our senior leadership team to say we want to help this agenda. So we've run some other events in this area around women in engineering and also around an organisation called, I think it's called Moving On, which is a mentoring scheme for females, and we're launching their event, I think it's early next year. So we're here to help and work with our customers on topics like this that are super, super important and home to us. And what it also does, it couples with our agenda in BT, and we have something called a Gender Equality Network, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. So we engage with all the TOCs, the bus and rail operators and the coach operators in the UK, and we have a wider team, and we're keen to innovate with you, so do talk to us about that. It's not all about phones anymore, BT. I don't want you to think that, don't think that. It's all about innovation with us, and we do connect for good, and you are better off on BT, aren't you? And there are no discounts available today, so don't try and get me. Okay, so back to the wonderful event. Congratulations, Louise, for what will be, I'm telling you now, a brilliant, inspirational event for you. So enjoy every moment, and thank you for allowing us to host you. It's our pleasure, very much so. And I'd like to introduce you to my boss. My boss's boss. He's very important to me, as you can imagine, Mr. Darren Buttrick. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane, and a big warm welcome to this beautiful building in Snow Hill, Birmingham. We are very proud and privileged to work in a building like this. It's one of our better workplace locations where we're trying to collaborate and bring people back to the office. We do, however, have flexible working. So, we're trying to get people back in, fostering that engagement, that collaboration to, as Jane said, connect for good. So, it's great to allow you to use these facilities today. It looks like a great agenda, a great day, and, really make the most of it today. So, I guess a little bit about BT and what we're trying to do. Some of you may know this already, but we've actually now got the first female CEO in BT Group since the group was established. So, Alison Kirkby, if you follow the share price at all, I think she's had a 40% increase in the share price in about 18 months. So she's clearly doing something really good for the business and for the customers. So it's great to have a female CEO. And early next year, we'll have a female CFO. So that's the first time ever, again, in the group's history, that we'll have probably the most two senior figures in BT, both female. And it's a board agenda, in terms of whether it's diversity, inclusion. All of those measures are looked at by the board, and by 2030, we've set some, guidelines and some targets that we really want to make sure that we've got a diverse organisation, an inclusive organisation, and there's probably three reasons for that. Number one is, I think it allows us to understand our customers much better when you've got a diverse and inclusive organisation and workforce. I think keeping our reputation for innovation can come from anywhere, from anyone. And I think the more diverse you are, the more innovation you'll foster and collaborate. And I go back to this building, we want to encourage people to come in, to collaborate. And by doing that, we will improve the business for our customers. And I think thirdly, you heard about Tom, unlocking the power of our people. So whether it's apprenticeship programs, graduates, internal promotions, we want the right person for the job. But we want to make sure when we're interviewing and talking to people, we've got the most diverse candidates in that pool, but also the most diverse panel of people interviewing those candidates as well. So it's fair and equitable for everybody. And going back to what Jane said, we've got a number of work groups within BT looking at lots of things to make sure that we live up to our values of that diversity and inclusion. And last week, most of you might recall, we had National Inclusion Week 2025. And again, we broadcast lots of sessions from within this building, all of our other locations, available on Teams, and we get panels together, whether that's external speakers, internal, talking about gender equality, diversity, ethnicity. So we're really trying to foster that collaboration and that interest across the board. It's not easy. There's a lot of work still to do, and I think BT would say we're on a journey and we're improving. We're not there yet, but we want to get to a better place. And as Jane said at the outset, Connect for Good. It's the customers, it's our people that will make this organisation to be brilliant, and that's our objective, is to make sure that when people come to BT, whether you're an employee or a customer, the experience is better than ever, and you go home and you think, that was a great day in the office. So for us, it's really important, and it's great to see all of you here today living those same ethics and brand as well. So have a fantastic day. We look forward to hosting you and networking during the course of the day. So thank you.
Thank you, Darren, and thank you, Jane. Can I recommend, if you haven't already, that you log on to the BT Wi-Fi while you're here, because we are going to ask you to join in with some polls later on. Everybody gets their phone out and logs on. But not while Louise is speaking. So today's event, the focus of it is driving change. To introduce our day, to lay the foundations to fire you up, please would you welcome the Chair of Women in Bus and Coach. Please welcome Louise Cheeseman.
So, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Birmingham. I just have to say, I know BT have spoken, but I don't know where Wendy is, but we finished the Manchester event, and it was about a week later, Wendy rang me. We speak nearly every day. She's my star. She's been amazing pulling all this together. But she rang me and she said, I've got this email and it's from BT and they're saying that there's a venue we can have, and she said, I think it's a scam. So I said, well, send it over to me, I'll have a look at it. And I rang her back and I said, I can see why you think it's a scam. This can't be real, because for us, for having a brand like BT to want to help us, to me, says so much about where we are now and how people are taking us seriously. So, I've said it before, but I can't thank you enough. We can't thank you enough, because, BT agreeing to support us just means so much in terms of validating that we're going in the right direction. So that's absolutely fantastic. So thank you so much. I'm going to apologise. I've got brain fog, so I'm going to have to read my speech and hold it, so I do apologise, but I'm sure there's lots of women in this room with brain fog. So I know what I want to say, but when I'm faced with an audience, I go blank. So I'm not going to apologise. Well, I suppose I am, but anyway, I've got a speech. So it doesn't feel like a year since we were at Manchester. Manchester held 125 people. I think we ended up having 150. This venue holds 220. I don't tell BT, but I think there's about 233 people here today. But we've got a list a mile long of people who wanted to be here today. So I think next year is going to be Wembley. Think big, that's what I always say, think big. So thank you so much to all of you for coming. It really does mean a lot to know that you're here backing us and coming on this journey with us. We've got a really packed agenda today. We've got some fantastic speakers and some panels that I hope you really enjoy. But what we wanted to do, first of all, really was to take a moment to reflect on what we've achieved, what you've all achieved supporting us in the last 2 years. So we're just going to watch a short video just that summarises what we've done to date. So if we can do that in 2 years, look out world, here we come. Phenomenal. So today isn't just about listening to our speakers. It's a day when I hope you can park your busy day jobs just for a few hours and enjoy being in an environment where we can chat comfortably and safely with like-minded people, all aiming for the same thing. We're all here, I hope, because we want to facilitate change in the road passenger transport sector. This year, to allow a bit more time to chat and carry on networking, we've got a session after the main event where we can stay behind and have a few drinks and nibbles and just carry on the conversations. So please don't rush off, stay for a bit longer, and hopefully you'll meet some more people and have some great conversations. As you leave today, you'll also be supplied with a copy of our annual report. So that documents some of the stuff you've seen there, and it'll also go into a bit more detail about the projects and the events and the work the regions are doing, which is great. So, but preparing the report was for me a fantastic opportunity to reflect back on just how much we've achieved in such a short space of time. So not just in terms of diversity on the front line, but throughout all levels of industry in our industry. But I'd like to give you an example of where, disappointingly things aren't changing as fast, certainly in leadership roles, as I would like. So only last week I was on a Teams call. I was the only woman of 12 people, senior people, at a meeting. And as the meeting was drawing to a close, in Teams comment, the chair put in the Teams comment, "Apologies, gents, got to shoot off." It wouldn't have been so bad, I think, if I had just sat quietly on the call and not said anything. But I think I contributed quite a bit. And the fact that he said that made me feel irrelevant. I wasn't valued. And basically invisible. And I'm sure there's women here who've felt that way themselves. And so, we've got to change that. I don't want other women feeling that way. So change is needed at all levels, and we must have more representation at senior level in boards, on executive leadership teams, where women can really influence and make change. Women in Bus and Coach, I'm really proud to say, now sponsors women on the fantastic Women in Transport Leadership Programme. It really is, if you've not had the chance to go on it, it is absolutely brilliant. So we're sponsoring women to go on that. We're also every year offering a woman a chance to sit on the board as a mentee director, and we will be announcing the new mentee director this afternoon. So Kerry's had her year, and we've now appointed a new mentee director for the next year. But I want to remove that mystery behind boards and executive leadership teams. What do they do? What does it feel like? It's not difficult. We sit around having lots of cups of coffee, eating biscuits and talking. That's all it is. So there's no mystery about it, and we can all do it. We've all got a voice. We've all got opinions. So, you women sat here and out there doing the job, we want you in the boardroom. We want you in executive meetings to give your views and your opinions. And our stakeholder group is changing now. With the oncoming bus franchising, we're going to have new stakeholders. We've got to influence these stakeholders. Women in Transport needs to make its voice heard in this new world. We're also seeing lots of small coach operating companies being taken over by big transport businesses. We need to get in there and we need to influence them. We really want local authorities to recognise the importance of appointing bus operators who employ people that represent the community they serve. Utopia for me would be that all the local authorities need their bus operators to demonstrate their strong diversity culture, and that's not just by saying it. We want to be able to demonstrate they do it, and guess what? I'd like that to be that they're corporate members of Women in Bus and Coach. So providing enticing advertisements of women, smiling women sat in sunny cabs in buses, it's all great, but what matters is when they sign up to come and join the industry, it's what they find. We want women to see this industry as being a long-term career for them. They can take it as far as they want to or they choose to take it. We as women are normally a very loyal bunch. I think you'd like to agree. We tend to come in and we tend to stay if we feel valued and if we feel the workplace is adapted for what we're looking for. But what we're finding is that we're getting more women signing up to the industry, but we're just getting even more women leaving. Why? Well, I could probably tell you why, but I think, when you walk into a garage and there's 6 men's toilets and 1 women's toilet, or even worse, you have to go through the 6 men's toilets to get to the women's toilet, probably, goes some way to describing culture. Being asked by your fellow bus driver to cut the legs off your summer uniform trousers because you've got good legs and people want to see them, or having key rings with penis on them pushed through your locker. I could go on because women contact me and tell me this, which is so disappointing. Fact is, women are from Mars. I always have to get this right. Men are from Venus and women are from Mars. It's fact. We are different, but we're good different. So we have to identify the areas that really resonate with women and try to adapt our workplace and our work practices to reflect that. Let's value everyone for whatever they can bring to a business. Get things right and businesses will thrive. Young people coming out of schools and colleges will recognise the great opportunities in our industry, and we will become the industry of choice for so many more people. Women in Bus and Coach has made a really positive step, but we're only a small group that are trying to juggle busy day jobs. We can't do everything, and the board of Women in Bus and Coach are amazing. The amount of work they put in is phenomenal, but we need more people to help us. So we recently commissioned a report just to understand what value we're bringing to the industry, what people think of us, and this will guide us in the next 3 years in terms of what our action plan is and what we need to do. So to anybody that was interviewed, any of the stakeholders, the people in the sector that Fiona interviewed, thank you so much for taking the time to be really honest. What I didn't want from the report was lots of, pardon my French, bubbles blown at my bottom. That's no good to anybody. We wanted honest feedback. We wanted to know what we'd achieved so far, what people thought of us, but what we have to do. And, me being me, got very depressed reading it because there is so much to do. But we can't do it all. We need more people. So if you are sat here today, or you know anybody who might be interested in coming along on this crazy journey with us, please let us know, drop us a note, come and see me, and we'd really welcome you. We've started to create regions because different areas of this country have different challenges. We've started the southern region, London. We've launched the northern region, which is doing amazing, and you'll hear all about it this afternoon. But the next area we wanted to launch was here in the Midlands. So if you do know anybody who might be interested in leading that, please get in touch. As I say, we can't do it all ourselves, unfortunately, and we've created a bit of a beast here. So, but finally, I'd just like to thank our corporate members and our sponsors for today. You should be really proud of what you've done to help us to deliver this. We couldn't have done any of this without you. So a massive thank you to everybody that's contributed in any way to today. I hope when you leave here tonight, success for me is that you go away feeling empowered, you feel energised, and you go out there and tell everybody what we're trying to achieve. So I won't go rambling on anymore. Just say thank you so much. Sit back, relax, and enjoy today.
Thank you, Louise.